Welcome, YouTube family. We're back at it again. Week 2 recap of the NFL. We're going to preview week 3 and then touch on NBA for a little bit. So, guys, week 2 recap. The biggest news, obviously, is so many injuries. How many star players got decimated. Let's start off with that. The key players that got hurt. Saquon, right? Raheem Mostert. You got Nick Bosa hurt. Julio's dealing with hamstring. Devontae Adams hurt. Big pieces hurt. So how is this going to affect these teams moving forward? And I want to know your opinions. These injuries, are they because of the lack of preseason? Are players just, the routine got messed up because of no OTAs? Go ahead. You guys kick it off.
I think lack of preseason is definitely one of the things, right? So I know we talked about it in like a couple of podcasts ago, just kind of how preseason and those things affected it. But now we can tell that the players need more time. Now, I know I had mentioned like, it was good that they didn't have too much for preseason. Maybe that'll be fine, but we saw that didn't work out too well. I think another notable injury that wasn't like on the field related was Tyrod Taylor. The reason why Justin Herbert got his first start was that the medical team, one of the doctors punctured his lung.
That's crazy.
Like that's
freaking crazy,
nuts.
bro.
The guy has a history too. Did you see his track record?
No.
He has like a DUI. He got his surgery.
The doctor?
He got his surgery license revoked. Like,
What the
And
heck?
this is an NFL doctor, right?
There's 4 or 5 like red flags with that doctor.
Holy
Wow.
shoot.
So that's just like, to say the least in terms of what happened there. I know there's Giants fans that are kind of against Joe Judge for how Saquon got injured. I didn't get to like really see that game, but
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
apparently like he was hurt already like earlier in the game, and then he came back in.
He got hurt because I think it was like a hand thing. He fell awkwardly on his hand. I know he was grabbing that, but I don't think it had anything to do with
his knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy
Maybe if
injury.
I gotta see it again, but I'm pretty sure it was a hand. Anyways, go ahead.
It's weird, like, and everything's an ACL. Like that's weird too. An ACL or a shoulder, knocking these guys out for the year, man. So 2020 is still hitting football, even though we thought it wouldn't, but just in a different form. So definitely an impact to the game.
So speaking of the ACL, because of that Giants and 49ers game, I know there was complaints because of the field. It's a new different type of field or turf that they're using. So my question is, why doesn't NFL use grass like in soccer or football for our international viewers? Obviously, it's not the same contact sport, but they're doing the same, almost similar cutting in and out of grass. And you see ACL that prevalent. They have injuries too, but not as much as the NFL. So that's something I was thinking too, maybe.
I mean, honestly, we're talking about 52 guys in one team, right? We're talking about 3 different lines that rotate in and out, and they're constantly grown men going at each other, trying to hurt each other, basically, right? Trying to knock each other out. I mean, the preseason, not having preseason, the OTAs definitely hurts because you need to build that body. You need to hit that tackle on tackle. There's preseason, kind of soft to build that body up to be able to withstand these hits. But at the same time, I mean, we see this a lot. I mean, every year somebody's gone down. We're talking about Dalvin Cook had ACL, right? We hit Devontae Freeman. This is not the first year. So a lot of when it's these many big names, and when you're talking about teams that are, especially the San Francisco 49ers, a team that was just in the Super Bowl, and everybody thought they might be going back, and you lose the defensive player of the year in the second year. I mean, Bosa is one of the best defenses in the game, right? Yeah. Barkley, the best running back, arguably in the game. So Giants fans you lost another year of this amazing talent. Yeah, so I think it has to do a lot with the names that's going on. I don't think it's anything that's just this year. I think injuries in football are going to happen no matter what, just because of the contact sport and all that. Can they look into the grass? I think so. I think that can help. I think that can help a little bit. But in the same time, this is a game that we're expecting them to hit each other hard, to be strong. Who's the strongest? We're talking about who's picking up the most weight, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, the hit that we want to see that. It's like gladiators and a little bit more civilized, basically, right? Playing a game. But yeah, the OTAs definitely hurts in the same time.
That's true. I also thought like maybe they're overtraining to compensate for the lack thereof of OTAs, and they might have overdo it. Some players, and nowadays the athletes are stronger, faster, so you could see that injuries are piling
Also,
up.
high ankle sprains. Like you saw Mike Thomas last week, McCaffrey this week.
Right. I totally forgot about those two.
Right?
Jimmy G, yeah.
Jimmy G's out. So it sucks, but it's part of the game. What are you gonna do? Anyways, let's talk about those games, right? A game that we all had, Giants in Chicago. Man, I still don't believe in Mitchell Trubisky. I know you like him, Mike. I know you're a big Mitchell Trubisky fan, but what do you expect? The guy only threw for 28 times, so it was a run-dominant game by them, and for any quarterback to benefit, they need that type of scheme, right? So, and I think that's where the Giants lack. They can't develop a run, and if you asking Daniel Jones to throw 40 times in his second year in the NFL, you're not going to get many wins like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also the Bears' defense is still holding their own in that space. I think that's a big part of it too. I think Daniel Jones is going to go through some hardship without Saquon, but at the same time, when you look at it, it's a year of growth for him. It's another year of growth for Daniel Jones. He's going to go through kind of more trials with his team, and hopefully over those trials, he becomes a better thrower. I feel like he's throwing the ball better, in these last two games. They still lost that game, but he had a chance to bring him back.
Yeah.
You guys were the Giants were close in that space to actually get to where they needed to go, but
Came down to the last play of the game.
it did.
10 yards.
Yeah, and he marched them. He marched them almost like they were in the red zone, right? At the end of that game,
They were like at the 10 or 11.
they were right there. So, but at the same time, like I said, Mitchell Trubisky, man, like
He's gonna have to prove himself this week.
everyone talk about Nick Foles this, Nick Foles that. Like Trubisky's 2-0. And he's sitting there in that quarterback room, like I'm still 2-0.
Honestly, come on, you just said that the Giants almost won that game with Barkley out, with Sterling Shepard out. And you win the game 17-13. With that defense, I think Chicago could be doing so much better. They need to get rid of Trubisky. That experiment is over, my friends. He's gonna have a spurt. He's gonna give you those 3 touchdowns out of nowhere. But I think that defense really deserves better. I think they need a shot. It's getting older. They need a shot. I think they're still decent enough that they can make a little run here and there if they have a good quarterback. But they don't have really any offense either, to be honest with you. But going back to the Giants, I mean, what a devastating injury, right, guys? I mean, honestly, as a Giant fan, I'm not a Giants fan, it hurt. When you see a player like that, Barkley, with so much talent, with so much, I want to see that. I want to enjoy that, you know? You want to see generation talents going at it. It sucks. We lose him for a year now, and he comes back from ACL. You never know. Hopefully, he comes back fully healthy. Because honestly, I want to see. That was one of the players I was excited to see this year. What he's gonna do. What a young quarterback. It hurts Daniel Jones too, because now you don't have your number one running back behind you. That's gonna take a little bit load off of you. But the Giants' defense has been playing amazing. Honestly, I didn't think a lot about them going into the season, but they're not playing bad. I mean, they're not put in the best of situations with that offense, but they're holding their own. But at least they're still the second best team in New York, right? Buffalo's first, we can all agree. And I mean, Jets are an embarrassment to any Jet fans out there. I mean, we're gonna get a whole segment on that.
We have viewers that are Jets fans.
This is local teams, guys, and we need to get to the Jets. We need to talk about what embarrassment they are, how they're making New York look bad in general, and even not being a fan, being a New Yorker. Jets, you need to get your ish together, please. But Mo, it's your Giants, baby. Let's hear what you got to say.
Oh man. Yeah, it just sucks losing a player like that you have such high expectations for. And plus his ACL with like all that mass he has, you don't know if he's going to have his explosion back when he gets back.
And he's going to year 4.
Yeah, now you lose Shepard too. He goes on IR, so
Yeah, well,
our defense is keeping us in it.
Yeah.
But our other pieces, like Ingram's gonna have to start waking up. Slayton's gonna have to start being more consistent. That line's gonna have to start playing together, and then we gotta just stop going down like double digits.
we'll see. I always like to give all teams by week 4 to see what they really are, especially now because
At this rate,
no preseason. Right?
see
If
who's
anybody
still there.
survives.
So what happens if Mitch is 4-0? Who do the Bears play next week?
Oh
They play the
Lord!
Falcons.
Okay, so what happens
Okay,
if
so
the
they're
Bears
3-0.
are?
Wait,
what happens
we're
if they're
not there
3-0?
yet. We're
Well,
not
sorry.
there yet.
Okay,
We're
hold
not
on.
there yet. Hold on. Time
That
out.
assessment. You know
We'll-
what I'm saying?
we'll get-
Week 4 assessment for
We'll
Mitch
get to the
Trubisky.
we'll get to the
Week 3.
previews. So there was such good games. I want to get into. How about Atlanta and Dallas? What
Oh,
what
man.
a game, bro! What a
Oh,
game!
man. Atlanta, seriously, guys. How you make history twice, blowing the biggest leads twice? One in
The
Super Bowl.
Atlanta curse. The
It
Atlanta
is.
curse.
Yeah, you Patriots did something to them after that.
Yeah,
You're just like
they said the
it's
Falcons
over.
are still watching that onside kick.
Oh my god.
Yo, I don't. So
How do you not jump on that?
So honestly, if I'm being like real with everybody right now, I turned that game off because I thought that the Cowboys were gonna win. I thought that the Falcons were gonna blow them out. Like
that was it.
there was a bunch of touchdowns in that game that I'm just gonna say that I needed. Like a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
So what happens? Can someone tell me what happened on that final play?
That's that
With the
onside kick.
onside, the onside
Yes,
kick.
what happened?
They
I don't-
watched it. They literally
I
watched
think
it.
no, I think they were confused. They thought they were the defense, that if they touched it, it becomes a live ball. They didn't know that even if they jumped on it, it would have been a penalty on the on the kicking team for kicking it short. I
Oh, the ball was kicked short at first
Yes.
and
Yeah,
it
and it
rolled
rolled
the
10
10 yards.
yards.
Exactly. They were
Yeah.
They
waiting
didn't
for
try
it.
to go get it. They
You
just-
can get it at any time as a defender, you know, on the special team on the other side. You can jump on it any time. The offense, the kicking team can't touch it. So
Yeah.
I think they got confused, like, oh,
and
why
you
are
see
they not going
six
for
Cowboys
it?
just die for the ball.
The Cowboys
mean-
were like 1, 2, 10 yards.
That's not even
Grenade.
player's fault. That's like a coaching blunder.
How you gonna coach them while they're on the field looking at the ball? You think they would know the rules? These are NFL players. So what are you telling as a coach? Oh, if they kick it slowly and it's rolling to 10-yard jump on it? That's not something you coach.
Yeah, it's
You're
not.
an NFL player.
No,
That
but-
you don't know how the team is gonna kick it. You can't coach your players on.
That was a sick kick, though. You saw
It
how
was.
spinning?
It was
It
amazing.
was?
There was no way you can coach that. There's no way you can coach that.
I
I'm
have to
sorry.
watch
That
that
was
over.
on the players. They kicked it. That was my assessment.
Tell you right now,
Honestly,
though,
they got
Falcons lose,
confused.
that coach
They
is out.
forgot the rules. They forgot the rules on what happens if they touch the ball. That's the
If
only
they start
explanation.
0-3, they're fine.
Because
with coach.
the only reason why I realized was because I went into the app. I went into an app and I was like, "Yo, the Falcons lost." Like, hold on. And then I turned on like the Patriots game, and they were showing like the highlights from the prior games,
yeah.
and it said something about like the Cowboys winning. I see Dak celebrating. I'm like,
How?
what just happened? That was like, was this like from last year? Is this a highlight from last year? And then I found out that the Falcons literally
And I'm
gave.
the only one
It
that
sounds
took
like
the
they gave
Falcons
that game away. They gave that
Wait,
game.
you
took the
that?
Falcons or
No, you
Cowboys?
took Falcons.
I took the Cowboys.
No, I thought you took Falcons.
Maybe I did. I don't even know.
I mean, I took the Cowboys, but I was
Yeah,
just hurt. I was still hurt, you know? I really wanted them to lose. Starting 0-2 America's team, I mean, I don't know how you blew that Falcons, honestly. You need to fire everybody in that coaching
No,
staff.
Dan
honestly.
Quinn is gonna go.
He's gonna.
soon.
He has
He's
to
gonna
go. You have such a loaded team.
There's no
right?
way you could blow out
His
games
leash
like
Yeah,
this.
is
but-
so loose.
No, he's gonna go. So Detroit and Green Bay blew him out 42-21.
Yeah.
That
Jones.
offense looks crazy.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. Just,
Aaron Rodgers is on a
On a
mission.
tear.
What's his name? Matt Flynn? Is that what's the quarterback? What's the,
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. He's sitting there like, Aaron, I told you didn't need anybody else. Don't worry
That game
about
was
it.
all
We're
Aaron
gonna
Jones.
be all right.
He had 3 touchdowns, didn't he?
Yeah.
no, it's a well coached team though too. It's very well coached. It's not just about Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers
but
throwing.
what, they came out
Look at
that
the
half
running
and
game.
he had like
Yeah.
a 70-yard burst or something.
Yeah.
And then you got Tennessee and Uncle Rico, I like to call him, from
Uncle Rico!
Napoleon Dynamite, Gardner Minshew.
Yo.
Even though they lost that game by 3,
They won that game in my mind, man.
dude, Jacksonville, everyone thought you were tanking, but you just coming out like guns a-blazing and just lighting it up.
Gardner Minshew, Washington State's finest. Let's go Cougars.
They got a good quarterback there,
We'll get to the
surprisingly. Whoa, it's coming up. It's coming up. How about this team that I thought was going to have a good year, but right now it's just stinking up the joint? Minnesota versus Indianapolis,
Kirk Cousins.
28-11.
Yo, the Washington football team looks like a bunch of geniuses. Cause Kirk Cousins is trash. Hot
Is it
take.
really Kirk Cousins though? Honestly, I think it's more than it's just a team. I just don't like their vibe.
Yeah.
Like they have such many good players, right? I don't know. I don't think it's just Kirk Cousins. He is a problem. When you're the quarterback, you do take a lot of the blame.
He's the leader of the team.
I get it, but that coach needs to go. They need a fresh start. Losing to New Orleans, like I don't know. I think that team needs like a jolt. Some way, trade somebody. They got rid of Diggs, but I don't know. I get it.
For me, I don't agree because look, we all saw the fiasco that went down with Kirk Cousins in Washington. And everyone's like, why won't they sign him? Why won't they sign him? Bro, Minnesota had one winning season? Not even. Wasn't the last winning season with what's his name at quarterback? With Case Keenum and the miracle throw, and then that's been it.
But they also gave him $34 million every year, more than the market value. They gave them their money.
But
Washington
right now
gave
they're
them
not just playing up to their potential. And now their
They've been
linebacker, was it Anthony Barr? He's hurt too.
They were skating by with Stephon Diggs. And they mistreated him. They disrespected him. They didn't give him the money he deserved.
You think he knew it was coming? He was like, I gotta get out.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yep,
I think it's just more than just
He's
Kirk
happy
Cousins,
right
though.
now.
Honestly, it could be just that, but I think it's more than that. I think the
so.
problem is more than that. I think that team in general, needs a new coach, a new voice, maybe some big leader, somebody to come in that really takes. I think he has talent, guys. I mean, we've seen Kirk Cousins throw, right? Maybe he needs a McVay to his golf, somebody that's going to come out and build a playbook for him to really open up that offense. But I think it's more than that.
But because you can throw a football doesn't mean that you're a leader of men.
That's true, but then at the same
He
time...
needs a you like that moment. You like that? You like that?
You need something.
Buffalo, Miami. Here's another team, Miami. Like, they're not as bad as you would thought they would be. It was 31-28 game.
They kept it close.
Look at Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. I don't care what nobody says. These two look like dynamic duo.
Ooh, I was so high on Diggs.
Josh Allen's a good fantasy. No, but he's a good fantasy player. But his accuracy, I don't know.
When he's ready to throw the football, he goes like this. A rocket ship comes out. He's like, watch
got
this.
an arm.
Trivia question. Who leads the NFL in passing yards right now?
Josh Allen.
Yeah. No one wants his.
Because he's got this massive arm.
Who's leading receiving? Who leads the league in receiving yards?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
He had 157 yards last week.
Listen, I was so big on Diggs. I was so big on Diggs in fantasy this year because he's the one that can go and get it. And when you got an arm like that, you don't even need to be accurate.
Did you guys see that last throw to John? Was it John Brown? That was, bro. That was a mind-blowing throw.
How much did Miami just drop on their secondary this offseason?
Yeah.
And he torched him. He lit them ablaze.
It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Yo, this is without Singletary's not running well and Zach Moss is not running well. It's all in the arm of Josh Allen and his running. That's the reason why they're 2-0, and he's gunslinging the ball.
He's got a good arm. The only thing is I'm just still shaky on his accuracy.
But if he gets that, if he gets that accuracy right, don't say that. The Patriots look good.
Yeah, but their defense has not lived up to the hype.
I know, but in the same time...
The Bills.
Bills.
Yeah, the Bills defense. Because Miami dropped 28 on. Fine. So the one you won, San Francisco and the Jets. Jesus.
This is all
Yo, take it easy.
Honestly, listen, I'm a Patriots fan. They're in our division. I hate them. But I grew up with my little brother. He's a Jets fan, and just as a New York fan, guys, you're ruining Sam Darnold.
Oh, no doubt.
You're ruining Sam Darnold. You're in a position now that where you're thinking if you get the first round pick, you're going to go Trevor Lawrence, right? You have to, right? If they get it, they have to. And now you're talking about a kid that had so much talent. that got destroyed in an organization, right? We see his flashes. We see what this kid could do. And you can develop a quarterback that everybody thought would be a generational 10-year franchise quarterback. So what makes you think that, do I want Trevor Lawrence going there and getting destroyed and not being able to see that talent come out? So it's a lot going on. You need to get rid of your head coach. Adam Gase does not know what is going on.
He sucks.
Every time we talk about in football, right? It's the 15 first plays when you come out on offense, right?
right.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Jets games as horrendous they are?
Have you seen them?
Have you seen them? Seriously, because the first 15 plays is like, this guy does not know what he's doing. And all we heard was he's a quarterback genius. He's an offensive genius.
Anyone that
genius.
has Peyton Manning is a genius. So
I mean, I haven't seen the genius. The head coach
swear.
needs to go in the middle of the season. They need to put an interim coach right now and look for a coach. Because if Trevor Lawrence is coming here next year, which it looks like, I don't see a winnable game. You guys can pull the last 9 games for them.
Hot take.
I don't see a win in the next 9 weeks. Guys, look at the schedule when you get a chance. We can run it down
I
right
don't need
now.
to. I just got to see how they play.
Exactly. And it's sad, but...
So you're saying that I agree 100%, but to be honest,
Jets going to
It's
I
basically what
don't
Jamal
even
Adams
if they
said.
get number 1. If you get rid of Adam Gase, I don't think you should give up on Sam Darnold.
Yo, he might
to
be
be
right.
honest.
Hold on.
That's what Jamal
they
Adams
not-
said.
look,
They
because-
don't
look,
have winning culture.
Look, the Jets not beating the Colts.
No,
They're
I
not
agree
beating the
with
Broncos.
Mossy.
They're not beating the Cardinals. They're not
They
beating the
probably gonna go,
Chargers.
like,
They're not
0
beating
and
the
16.
Bills. They're not beating the Chiefs. They're not beating the Patriots. They're not beating the Dolphins twice. Maybe one time. They're not.
Raiders?
They definitely not beating the Raiders. They definitely not beating the Seahawks. No way to the Rams. The Browns gonna smoke them.
I agree.
And the Patriots
I
gonna
agree.
smoke them
But
at the end of the
I'm
season.
talking about his point
But-
about drafting Trevor
play
Lawrence,
Seahawks.
right?
But
Hold on.
okay.
So don't you think? Okay, you said that Sam Darnold has a talent. The talent's not going anywhere. Yeah, is his team messed up? Sure. But if you get a right coach, like you said, the Kirk Cousins needs in Minnesota. What if you get one for Sam Darnold, and if they have the number 1 overall pick, imagine the draft haul they could get. And Joe Douglas, to be honest, he doesn't
No,
look like
I
he's
have no
incompetent.
problem.
He's
I
a
have
good.
no
He
problem.
looks like a good GM. So
Trade the first round pick. You think?
yeah, you trade it and you could still build around Sam Darnold versus bringing Trevor Lawrence and rebuilding this thing all over again. And to be honest, Trevor Lawrence is gonna have to learn the NFL, even though he seems to be the real deal. But still, I don't know. I don't think they should give up on Sam
He's
Darnold. The
also
coach
played-
Okay.
out.
He's also
Honestly,
plagued with injuries.
I could agree
His
with that.
pieces are
That's-
all
The only point I would say with that is I 100% think you don't give up on Sam Darnold, a talent like that. First of all, shout out to Joe Douglas. I did your house. I designed his house and built his, most of it.
Yeah.
But again, guys, you're going to get a rookie quarterback in a rookie deal, which is going to allow you financially to also build. Sam Darnold is going into his 4th year. Are you willing to pay him?
It's been 4 years already with Sam Darnold.
He's
This
going,
is his
he's
third.
going
He's gonna
into
be
4th
into
next
his
year.
4th.
Oh wow.
So
He's
are
gonna be
you
a free
paying?
agent real
So are
quick.
you gonna pay Sam Darnold without really seeing what this kid's got and bringing a new head coach and passing on Trevor Lawrence,
That's a
where
good
you
point.
can get a 1st-round pick, start with a rookie deal again? Maybe you trade Sam Darnold, you can get a 2nd-round pick for the kid or a 3rd-round
Yeah,
pick.
but you could get
That's a good
way
point,
more.
But again,
for
it's
Trevor
salary
Lawrence.
cap,
Yeah, but
right?
I think
Football salary cap.
You would want, if you're gonna get that first round pick. I see both points, right? Both points are valid.
Right.
But I think if you're looking at that first round pick, you got to get like at least 2 offensive linemen for that pick to be able to keep.
Because
Sam
Trevor
Darnold.
Lawrence,
and if you can't,
if he steps
then
in,
you
he can
go
get
get Sam
destroyed.
Darnold for that 2nd pick. You keep your first. I mean, both things.
But
are
I think
legit.
financially, you don't have a team to really build on right now.
You think anyone else is gonna pay Sam Darnold though? The Jets might be able to get him at a deal.
Guys, we're talking about he was a 6th overall pick and he has
No,
flashes and
third.
he's going 3rd,
Okay.
right?
But
Third.
other teams though, but Masi, at the same time, right? He has talent, but you have to admit, we're all saying that the Jets suck, right? Like that means also Sam Darnold's talent isn't really on display.
But-
so if I'm a GM of another team, I'm not gonna sign you for max dollars that's gonna affect my salary cap because I don't even know what you can do. So the Jets might maybe on a whim be able to sign him for less than he's worth
Word.
because
And get
they
more out
suck
of
so
him.
bad, and he can't go to another GM and get paid the way that he might want to, that would affect another team.
Let me ask you this, right? How many offensive players in the Jets right now would you start in any other team?
No, I'm not. Look,
I'm just saying. I'm just asking a question, right?
Sam, that's it.
I get it. No, I'm talking about he has no weapons around him, right? We're
Everyone's
talking
hurt.
about an NFL is one of the most important sports where coaching matters a lot. Who's the coach on that side matters a lot more than any other sports, to be really honest.
So if you
basketball, you got LeBron James giving the ball. You need coaching, but you don't need coaching like that.
So if you get rid of the coach, then you keep Sam and sign him?
I'm saying financially, I would get rid of Sam. If I have the first overall pick, I'm taking Trevor Lawrence. Now I have a quarterback in a rookie contract.
Yep.
I'm bringing a new coach.
And
right?
a new coach. Okay.
Yeah, but I
And
don't
a new
think they
coach.
have a
Gas is
financial
going.
problem.
No,
Yeah.
but it's not about
No
that.
one's really
But
getting paid on that team.
But
Yeah.
you're still opening it up, right? You're going to pay Sam Darnold $20-30 million a year when you haven't seen the kid do anything?
But you can also get that first round pick and get a
You don't
good
have to pay
offensive
him next
lineman
year, though.
and solidify your
You
line.
got to pay him after next year.
But you still got to...
So you can still get a full
But
year
you're
out
passing
of him.
on Trevor Lawrence, though.
Yeah,
I'm saying
but
if there's
you
no
might
other
be
quarterback...
passing on a good offensive lineman and not be able to get another lineman that's generational.
Yeah,
that might be in this draft, for instance.
I get it, but at the same time, when you have, say, they're talking about a Peyton Manning in the draft, and you have a quarterback that you're not sure about, I'll take that and not pay the guy that I have to pay next year. If Sam sucks the 4th year, right? Now he's in his 5th year. What are you gonna do now?
Yeah, but
Then you get another number one pick.
they're gonna no, they're gonna they
You're
might
not gonna have Trevor Lawrence
what's
standing
the
on top.
but
though.
if they bring in Trevor Lawrence, he's not gonna do anything for this team that Sam
But
can. And
he
what he's
has
gonna
3
do?
years before he needs 4 years before he needs to
I-
get
I
paid,
ra-
where you can put offensive
But-
weapons around
But
him.
if you have the quarterback already and you could build through the draft around him, I'd rather go that route because we know Sam is not a bum. He's got talent. But I don't know.
You get Trevor, put him on the bench, make Darnold play.
And
he
if
doesn't,
he's
Oh,
good,
they're
then
not
you
gonna
trade
do
him.
that.
just
no
like how
way.
the Chiefs, when they took Mahomes, they didn't put him in right away.
Yeah, but that's
Exactly.
different. They had
How-
Alex Smith.
Smith.
He was like an
veteran.
8-year veteran or something. But anyways, we don't have much time. So Philadelphia, Carson Wentz.
I don't even want to talk about the Phillies.
What the
Trash
heck
team.
is
It's
going
Philly,
on
come on,
with
man.
Carson Wentz, man? Like,
Hangover wins.
Just that whole team. Philly is one of the most surprising teams that we all thought were going to be good, and they
I
just
didn't think they were gonna be
totally.
good.
I mean, you thought they would be this bad? You thought they were going to lose to who?
I didn't
Who
think
they lost to first week?
Washington.
No,
You
yeah,
thought they were
Washington.
going to lose to Washington?
No, but I
Dwayne
expected
Haskins,
to lose
let's
it.
go
They're
Buckeyes.
just as closest to the Jets,
Word.
bro.
so at this time, we're gonna take a quick break. For a time, our sponsors is gonna get in. They're gonna shout us out, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So picking up where we left off, Denver, Pittsburgh. Here's another key piece that got hurt. Drew Lock, injured on the shoulder. Denver brings in Blake Bortles. Colin Kaepernick, you're done, bro. Just do what you gotta do because clearly they don't want you. I really wanted to see what Drew Lock was gonna do. I had high hopes for this kid. It was gonna be very interesting, but now that he's hurt, stinks. And they lost their
Courtland Sutton.
ACL again.
another ACL injury,
And
and
Von Military's ACL too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
oh, that was before
Was
the
this- no,
season,
No,
practice.
was that his foot? I think
Yeah.
I think broke his foot.
or was it Achilles? One of the others. One of
Foot.
them.
That was
He's
preseason.
down.
Toe,
He's-
Achilles, knee, it's all the same at this point.
He's in the injured
And
list.
Pittsburgh,
That's all.
yeah, Pittsburgh won that
Highlight.
game 26-21. So we'll see what happens with Denver moving forward. Carolina and Tampa Bay. So Tampa
That-
Bay was clicking, man.
Tom Brady throws another interception.
Oh,
Hot take. Does Tom Brady need Bill Belichick? Yes, he does.
oh! I was gonna wait for the last part, but since you said it, I was gonna wait till that New England and Seattle. But that's gonna be the thing all year, right?
Let me talk about Tom Brady real quick.
Oh,
Look, let me
Uh-oh.
tell you something.
oh.
Now,
Don't be a salty fan.
I'm
bro.
not being a salty fan. I love what Tom Brady has done for us. I still have Tom Brady's jersey in my closet. Look, man. I think there's something to be said with him throwing the amount of interceptions that he's doing right now.
It's a Tampa thing.
It might be a Tampa thing. Maybe Bruce Arians puts his quarterbacks in bad positions. Who knows what's going on? But I know one thing. Tom Brady looks, or that team looks super vulnerable. They should have blown the Panthers out watching that game. Watching that game, they should have smoked them. And Teddy Bridgewater almost marched that team back to victory, or at least to tie the game. And there's a lot of things being said around Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, how back then it was like, oh, well, Tom can put up these amount of points and that amount of points, and Bill Belichick's defense can't do anything, and all this other stuff. Tom put up how many points? 20-something points yesterday? On Sunday?
Well, they won 31-17.
So, yeah, okay, 31. 31 points.
31-17 is not what you're saying is not blowing somebody out?
Bro, the Panthers almost got there. How many points did they score in the fourth?
10 points.
10-10?
Yeah, 10-10. Yeah, I recall.
Honestly, what I
10-10.
think is Tampa by week 6. Did you guys, one thing that I really noticed was Tom Brady and Mike Evans. How many times he tried to catch up with him. I think that was his emphasis that he said during the week that he's going to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked amazing together.
Fournette
He threw another pick, though. We're not going to talk about he threw
another pick, but you're talking about a new quarterback and a new system, right? That is trying to figure out what he's going to do with his players. Even with the pick that we saw like the first week, Mike Evans stopped in one. The only bad one was when he threw the ball inside.
That was Tom's fault.
Done. Yeah, that was Tom's fault. That's what I just said.
And this one was Tom's fault, too.
And he gets Godwin back this week.
I just think
he's thrown 3 picks in 2 games.
But again, what is
that's upsetting?
It is upsetting, but in the same time, you're talking about a new team and they won 31-17. And we're sitting here and talking about how he could do more.
Why does he get
31 points?
Why does he get that excuse?
Because he's Tom Brady. He's been to 9 Super Bowls and he has 6 rings in his hand.
Here we go.
Why would you not have
That's
the
why he
excuse?
gets that excuse?
So
he's supposed to be the GOAT. He's supposed to be the greatest of all time.
At 42.
So why is he throwing 3 picks?
It's the second week.
He shouldn't be throwing 3 picks.
I don't know, man.
We're never discussing Tom Brady again.
Mike is a little upset. Tom Brady interceptions. Stop throwing interceptions. You need to figure it out. He needs to stop throwing picks.
I think he will. I really think he will. I think by week 6, that offense is going to be so scary.
So what do you say if he throws a pick again next game? Who they play? He's going to throw a pick again next game. You might as well put money on it at this point.
So, and if he wins the game, what does that matter? So you're saying if he throws a pick, then he sucks.
Did I say Tom Brady sucked at any point? I said Tom Brady needs Bill Belichick. I didn't say that he sucks.
I don't know how Bill Belichick and throwing a pick has to do with anything, though.
He's in a different system on a different team. He's throwing interceptions where he wasn't before.
How many interceptions did he have last year?
Maybe a total of 4?
Are you sure about that?
Let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
Let's go to the computer.
Here
we go. Let's ask Cena how many interceptions did Tom Brady throw in 2019? 8. He has 3 in the last 2 games. So he threw 8 in the 16. He's on track to throw 16 picks.
If you're a Patriots fan and a Tom Brady fan, Tom always throws at least 4 picks in the first 5 games. That's a stat you can look up, my brother. So if you really are a fan, you should know that's how he always starts.
In the first 2 games?
After every 5 games, Tom Brady has finished at
Let's
least...
go to the computer again.
Okay.
So you're saying he's noodle arm Tom? Is that what you're saying?
He might be.
I
mean, so is Drew Brees
217 yards?
Yep, noodle arm.
Who looks better, Drew Brees or Tom Brady right now?
Tom Brady.
Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Okay, so
let's go to the next while I look up this
Mike saying Bill over Brady. That's what he's saying.
There you go. That's right.
I say they're both a duo, just like Montana had.
I say Bill.
I mean, Bill is a coach. I mean, like, I made the point before.
Like Nick Saban.
I made the point before that.
Nick Saban.
No, but Nick Saban, every year you have different players, literally. I mean,
every year he's number one.
Patriots is always doing that too, though. They keep rotating.
Yeah,
listen.
First 3 games on the Patriots, 0 interceptions. Oh, but then he pulled 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
0, 1, 0,
Did they
0,
win all
1,
games,
But he
1,
throws it in
0,
bunches.
0, 1.
4 games
Bro,
in a
he's
row.
thrown 3 picks in the first 2 games. Where last year he
had
threw 0.
4 in a row.
Bro,
But you were in the
he
offense
threw
you
his
been with
first-
for 20 years.
he threw his first pick against
I'm not
Buffalo
gonna-
4 weeks in.
You're talking about a team he was in with
He
20
played Carolina's defense. This Carolina secondary, he threw a pick.
years. I don't
All
know why
youngins.
you're talking so like you're talking like Tom Brady's done. He just beat a team 31-0. He's in a new
So
team.
Mike is saying Tom Brady is.
I'm not saying he's done.
Oh.
I'm saying that the conversation is always Tom or Bill, Tom or Bill, Tom or Bill. Like Bill's making his case. We about to get to Patriots Seahawks, and we all know how that went down. So let's get there and find out whether it's Tom or Bill. Because maybe Bruce Arians just sucks as
to
a
me,
coach.
it doesn't listen. To me, it doesn't have to do anything with that. Do I think that Bill Belichick would have won Super Bowls without Tom? Yes. Do I think he would have won 6? No. You still need the GOAT
But
in
he
your
would've won
side to
Super
win
Bowls,
6.
though.
But in the same time, what is the point though? Winning 6 compared to winning 1 Super Bowl is a big difference.
Well,
Tom
Tom
Brady
had
is still the
0.
GOAT. Tom Brady is still the GOAT, regardless of what anybody says. He's the GOAT. That doesn't
needs
change.
to figure out
Technically,
these
I'll
interceptions
tell
right
you
now.
right now, Bill Belichick without Tom Brady has 2 Super Bowls. I'll tell you why. This is before the Giants. If you look at the first year they won the Super Bowl, Tom Brady didn't really do much. If you look at the stats, he threw for like less than 200
He came
yards.
in the middle of the year, took a
Right,
team to
so-
a Super Bowl
so this-
as a
hold
rookie that
on.
was 6th-round
This
pick.
is what I'm trying to say. Bill Belichick without basically Tom Brady has won 2 Super Bowls.
But no, Tom Brady was there, Cena. You can't say basically without Tom Brady.
the one in the Rams, Tom Brady really didn't do much in that game outside of just dumping it off to Julian.
That was
It was their
defensive
defense. It was
battle.
defense. But now it's a new system. I think the Bucks is loaded on offense.
Yeah,
Let's
all the pieces
let's
he
see what happens because right now, like the stat said, he's only thrown 217 yards with those offensive guys.
He has no excuse to throw 3 interceptions in 2 games. There's no excuse for that.
No, he shouldn't because
if what
for
he's
his
saying
career
is true
he's
about
he's
himself.
surgical. Like Tom Brady, he's not known for throwing
Again,
intros.
you guys are missing the big point that he went from an offense that he was with, an organization he
Right.
was with for 20 years,
Right.
to a new team. You guys are basically making that point like it's nothing.
I don't think he deserves.
You have to
I don't
talk
think he
about-
deserves. I don't think he deserves to be let off the hook for that.
It's not about
Being
letting
a
off the hook.
6 ring winner, everyone touts that. Even me myself, and as a Tom Brady fan, I'm embarrassed to see that he's thrown 3 picks in 2 games. He needs to figure that out.
That's a lot of turnovers.
But
That's a lot of turnovers. That could lose
honestly,
a game. That could lose a game.
He needs to figure it out. I get that, but in the same time, he's in a new offense, Mike.
He
You
doesn't
have to
deserve
give-
that excuse.
you
He's
don't-
He's been in the league for too long.
yeah, if Winston was still playing quarterback this year, and
It's the same amount of picks,
and he threw those 3 picks, they would have been trying to kick him out.
bro. They'd be trying to fire him.
So is it fair that we give him till week 4?
No.
All right,
Alright, can we
moving
move on?
on.
Because this is a
We'll
pointless conversation
we'll
at
come
this
back
point.
to this. Arizona and Washington,
Let's go.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Oh my
Kyler.
god! I give this guy so much credit at his height. What he's doing, it's amazing.
Hey, watch it.
Whoa.
What?
Why you bring the height in?
He's
I
short,
gotta bring the
bro.
guys,
What
yo.
do you
What's wrong with
mean?
short guys?
Wait, I'm not that short.
Pause. But no, in all seriousness, like he's doing it, and I didn't expect him to be this good. Like you saw in Oklahoma, he was
Let's go,
really good, but to be this good, how he throws, how he runs, kudos to him, and that was the right move for them at the time when people were saying, "Oh, why is Arizona gonna draft Kyler Murray? They got Josh Rosen."
Josh
Well,
who?
here.
Josh
who?
Josh
What team is he
Oh, I
on?
feel bad.
Oh,
for
he's
him
on the
too.
Bucks. He's on the practice squad watching Tom Brady. No, seriously, he's there with his binoculars and stuff, just watching
God.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's smart for his PR, but whatever. Anyways, Kansas City and the Chargers
Let's go, Ducks.
that's referring to Justin Herbert. He got in for
Where did he come
obviously nobody knew. Everybody was caught off by surprise. They're like, wait a minute, what happened to Tyrod before we even knew he was injured? Justin Herbert, yeah. So you were saying like he did well. Go ahead. I don't want to take your point.
No, I was saying
Mhm.
when the defense is preparing all week for Tyrod Taylor, and then finds out 2 minutes before kickoff that Justin Herbert is starting, they are not prepared for that. So they had nothing to study on, so they were just winging it, I guess.
So do you think Justin Herbert
But I
can
think
continue this, or
I think
is
they
it just a
actually
fluke?
should have won that game, but
The Chargers.
yeah, when he had that when he was about to pick up that first down,
And he threw the ball.
nobody there literally could have just ran it up
Oh yeah, that
and
was
throws
bad. That
a
was
pick and gives the ball back to Mahomes. I
It's
mean,
over.
that's
bad. Oh, rookie mistake.
Well,
Yeah.
I think, and I mean, if you historically look at his tape in Oregon, because as an Oregon fan, he's done that a lot. But at the same time, he was in college. He had more dynamic playmakers. No excuse. That was an inexcusable pick. That's as inexcusable.
he was moving the
as what I
ball
was saying
real well
before.
against them,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. So, but he's had those lapses. But I think after this game against the Chiefs, like I don't agree that Tyrod Taylor should be the starting quarterback if they're 100%.
I don't think he's going to because they said he can't play.
Puncture his lung.
Yeah, yeah. It said
Is
that
he
he's
out
not
for like
playing.
a couple weeks?
I think he's gonna be out for a few
For a
weeks.
while.
They
Well, yeah,
punctured his
punctured
lung.
lung is
He's
bad.
suing the this team. He's never playing again. Man.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at it, I think Justin Herbert. I think their Chargers gonna have a really good. They have a really good quarterback. They drafted him. What was that? 3rd or 4th overall?
6.
6th overall. And I mean, you look at Justin Herbert from his Oregon days. He stayed there an extra year for a reason, right? To develop footwork, to develop his talent, to develop his arm strength.
Yeah, once he gets chemistry with like the weapons he has,
But even some of those that he was throwing, man, those are in like tight windows. Those were what some of his wide receivers double covered, like. So I think the Chargers
that
are gonna have a
division
good
just
way
gets
up.
better and better.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to talk about the Chiefs real quick. The champs, right? I mean, they look bad. I mean, even
Yeah.
though you know 2 minutes before the game, you're still going against a rookie quarterback, and you guys want to go back and repeat. That defense is not playing against a Raven teams or something like that. To
Which
me,
they will be this week.
They will be this week,
they're
and
gonna
that's gonna be a good test because honestly, to me, Kansas City the first week they were playing who?
Houston.
Houston.
Yeah. And Baltimore just blew them
Without
out.
Hopkins.
Smoked them.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. To me, Chiefs looked like a little bit concerning to me, especially on the defensive side. And Mahomes didn't look that great on that game either. You're going against a Chargers defense that is decent, but they're not the defense that should shut you down where you scored how many points?
The Chiefs only have 3 corners
23.
left.
Yeah.
They have 3. They had an injury to another corner in the game against the Chargers, so they only have 3 corners left, I think.
So that defense, and I don't think the offense played that great either against a Chargers team. I think Mahomes should have done more.
Anybody see Kelsey on the sideline? He looks like he's in like another world. I'm
Super,
serious. He
Super
looks
Bowl
like he's in
hangover.
another-
Super
yeah, he
Bowl
looks like he's in another
But
world.
you can't sleep on Chargers defense too. They're a good defense.
They're good, but
even
it's-
though Derwin James is not there. But they got the Joey Bosa and Melvin
Melvin
Ingram.
Ingram.
Did Ingram get hurt though? He got hurt. I know he came off. I don't know if he had an actual injury though.
But you still went over. You're the champs, and you went on overtime to beat the Chargers
Yeah.
and a rookie quarterback. But Justin Herbert looked amazing.
And they brought
And Butker saved them. It wasn't even Mahomes.
Yup, it
Butker
was
saved
Butker.
their life.
Clutch.
three field goals from like 53 yards.
Butker, ice in your veins, baby.
Ice in your veins. Honestly, 3 times.
Best
Her-
kicker in football right now?
Easily.
Harrison Butker?
Easily.
Nah,
Fantasy.
the dude from Colts, Blankenship.
Blankenship. Let's go Bulldogs.
So yeah, Chiefs got to be better if they want to repeat as champs.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, that is the next game. Baltimore at Houston, 33-16.
Lamar
I
Jackson
feel so
looks the
bad for
same
Deshaun, bro.
way, man. Like Lamar's just,
It's that defense
Lamar.
that scares me even more.
Lamar.
jeez, man. Lamar Jackson is just out of this world, bro. You really think he didn't think he'd be able to repeat it? He looks like he's playing for Louisville. Like it's like he's unstoppable.
That was the Louisville Clemson.
Yeah,
right
he's
there.
unstoppable. It just feels like the guy's unstoppable, man. It's kind
He
of
just
scary.
surrounded with like the
So
right
much
pieces.
talent.
It's the right pieces for
Oh
him.
man,
I mean, that whole team is built around the kid, right?
Exactly.
Like they built a whole new playbook around Lamar. But that defense, guys, the defense is what scares me the most because again, when it gets into the playoffs, is that defense, right?
Yeah.
And Baltimore did a lot to their defense very sneakily over the over the offseason, they added great pieces to that defense. And Lamar's throwing now. I mean, could it get any scarier?
He's been in
like
the
Mike
pocket
said?
a lot
Mark
more.
Andrews over here looking like he's the number one tight end for all time right now.
I mean, when you have Lamar running like that, you're going to leave the big man open, but they're scary. That defense is ridiculous. They're going to, I think Kansas City Chiefs, if I'm them, I'm looking really hard in the mirror and saying how we going to get through that team.
If I'm that defense,
because I think they got lucky last year. I'm sorry, Tennessee was a better matchup for the Ravens, but if the Ravens went against the Chiefs, that would have been a very, very interesting.
Honestly,
matchup.
if I'm Andy Reid, I'm like, yo, guys, to be honest, like we want to fight like dogs, but we probably just need to give this one away for the defense.
I don't know. This is Monday night.
Nah, hold on, yo, their defense is hurt, and they're about to go up against a really good offensive team that can make them get hurt even more.
So we'll get to that in the preview. Hold the thought. The next game was one of the favorite games that I watched, the Seattle and New England. That game was lit, man.
Super Cam.
5 touchdowns in the last 2
Cam
games.
Newton, bro. This guy is coming out with a vengeance. He's trying to prove everybody wrong.
That's right.
And he almost had 400 passing yards.
Yeah, 397.
397.
397. And Russell Wilson is just a monster, bro. Like, this guy, I've
He
said
threw
it
a pick
multiple
too?
times.
Pick 6.
Russell Wilson sure did. So did Cam. Pick 6.
But you saw he threw more
But-
passing touchdowns to his receivers than the Patriots gave up all last year.
I mean, Russell
The Patriots
Wilson's playing
defense
like an
only
MVP.
allowed 4 touchdowns to wide receivers last
He
year.
threw 5.
Oh yeah.
To 5 different ones.
Yeah, Russell Wilson just
But also, I think that was the flow of the game. If you
it was
think
back and
about it,
forth.
it was
Yeah.
just back and forth. It was a shootout. And
What's up with this game always ending on the goal line
Yo.
between these two
I mean,
teams?
it's a chess game between
Yeah.
the two coaches, honestly. Again, I don't understand why you making it seem like I don't
Bill's
like
great.
Bill. Bill is amazing. He's the best coach in the history. But you're like, now that he's gone from your team, Mike, you're making it seem like Brady was just a scrub riding his coattails. Like, that's not the point. But again, getting back to I think it's Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick that gets them to these points because that's how they play the game. They're passionate. They go at it like it's a playoff game every time they play and entertain us. I mean, that game had everybody on the edge of their seat. We're one rushing touchdown away from Cam to talking about how we beat a Super Bowl contender with a team that everybody was like, are they even making the playoffs or are they not? You know what I mean? But never count out Bill.
So how good is Cam? Basically, he's coming back with the same weapons that they were last year, and
He's actually making his receivers look better than Brady.
He's and you don't want to keep harping back to
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all heard that?
It's hard.
Y'all heard that hot take?
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Y'all heard that hard. Y'all heard that hot
take. You guys know
take?
football. We're sitting in a podcast
What I'm
talking about
talking about.
football. If you guys truly are sitting here, and
What if
trying to,
James
we're
White
talking
was on
about
the field?
No, we're sitting here and talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
football like we know, right? So if you know, then you know that offense it dictates different ways, right? Josh McDaniels is gonna build an offense around Cam Newton, rushing touchdowns. He looks amazing in his playbook. Yes, he
touchdowns
does.
in 2
But
games.
if he has to
But
sit in the
receivers
pocket,
too.
yeah, because he's running around, they get more time to get open. Of course, but in the same time, you can't sit there and be like they're better
No,
without
but
Tom Brady in that game.
last year the narrative was that Tom Brady has no weapons.
That's true.
But
They're
he
saying-
still doesn't. He threw 1 touchdown pass. You're
But
acting like
each
he's
one-
throwing.
Look
like,
at the stats.
He's
these
had
receivers
4
had.
rushing touchdowns in the last 2 games
So,
without being touched
different
and 1
game.
pick.
For Cam,
Exactly right. Rushing compared to throwing.
1 pick.
Eight receptions. Julian Edelman, 179 yards. Demir Bird,
Who the
6
heck is that?
receptions, 72 yards. And this is the key. N'Keal Harry, 8
a big
receptions, 72 yards. Last year, N'Keal Harry,
Even Burkhead.
even Burkhead, but N'Keal Harry was in like Tom Brady's doghouse.
Mike, you're looking like, oh, I'm so right because Cam Newton threw those picks in 1 game. He's better than Tom Brady. I'm not gonna. Get
I didn't
into
say
this
that Cam Newton was
conversation,
better than
but
Tom
why are
Brady.
we
I'm
making
saying that
face?
Bill, it's getting proven. Bill over time right now.
We'll wait till the end of the season.
The record's
You know what?
even, 1-1.
Wait.
You heard a
How
little
about
bit.
this?
It's
How about
fine.
this?
Tom Brady lost.
You two should make a side wager. Something, if if New England has a better record than Tampa or vice versa, you know, a little
Nah,
sideways.
We
Yeah.
can talk about that.
Okay, we can talk about that because I think Tampa Bay's gonna have a. Even though I would love to be wrong and lose that because I want my Patriots to win at any cost,
That's a
and
hard-
I'm the
that's a
type
hard-
of
that's a
person.
hard-
This
it's
is
a
a
hard
Bill
bet
versus
for me.
Brady matchup.
It's not.
and
to
the-
me, I love Bill.
And the final one is, well, I agree with you there, but for everyone looking on the outside, it's always been like, okay, Bill or Brady. But we could get to that some
Then
other
you
time.
can be like Jack, the Zen Master, or Michael Jordan. He had no slouch as a thing either. You to look at Montana, who's his coach was. They're all Hall of Famers together. You can't separate the two and be like how they
Right,
do
but
separately.
because we say Bill versus Brady because it seemed like towards the end, one or the other wanted credit more for the wins. Like Bill was like, "Nah, it's me." Brady was like,
Yeah,
"Nah,
there was
it's
bad
me."
blood towards
So
the end.
that's why. If there was bad blood between all those other, I agree. Anyways, New Orleans and Vegas. How about the Las Vegas Raiders? Wow, and
I don't know. Man.
and we were talking about Brady.
Darren Waller,
How about
baby.
this guy?
Oh, he's a beast.
Jerry Rice.
How about this guy?
Rice.
The Saints came out so strong.
Drew
that
Drew
game.
Brees, man, what is going on? He's showing his age, even though he threw for 312 yards, but I think maybe that was yards
That's 'cause
after
they're
catch.
behind a lot. Yeah,
I mean, you can
Garbage time
throw
yards.
the Saints came out so strong in the beginning.
Yes, they
just
did.
kept moving the ball, kept getting coverage sacks.
So, what's your opinion on Derek Carr, guys?
He said he was tired of it, right? He didn't like he wanted more respect, and here he goes. He's getting it. He's doing what he can with his weapons. He's doing better without Amari Cooper. I think right now no one can key in on who he's got besides Josh Jacobs, and Jacobs is showing like that he's got everything. So I think that Derek Carr deserves his credit for what he's doing right now for the Raiders.
Yeah, once he starts developing that chemistry with Ruggs, it's gonna be scary. Like
And
he missed
Josh
them on
Jacobs.
that one. He had him open a couple times where he didn't hit him, but
Right.
then you got Darren Waller who's unguardable,
He's a
basically.
beast.
Josh Jacobs runs like Marshawn Lynch.
That's a
So
fact, though. That's for real. Though.
I mean, honestly, Las Vegas Raiders look good. I think they're gonna build on this, but also the Saints looked horrible. Drew Brees was not himself. You were missing Michael Thomas, but you still have that defense. Sean Payne should never have given up
they had a
34
lot of drops
points
though. I don't know if you
to
noticed
Josh
that.
Jacobs. I mean, but you still
Yeah.
gave up 34
Saints-
points,
The
right?
Saints had a lot of drops. Yeah.
They had a lot of drops, but they gave up 34 points also, you know? So, give credit to Vegas. I mean, there was their home opener. They went in there. The Raiders looked good. Josh Gruden finally beat a team that was over 500 since he took over the team. I mean, he's
true.
getting paid $10 million a year. So, honestly, it was a good game. It was bad for the Saints. They need to come out next week and show that that's not who they are. And they are going to fight for a championship. And the Raiders need to come out and show that they're going to fight hard to show that maybe there's a new tide in Raider Nation.
Yeah.
So, finally going into our week 3 preview. Rapid fire. Yeah, sure. Thursday night's matchup, Miami, Jacksonville, guys.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Minshew.
that's very hard for me. I have to go with Jaguars just because the
They
way that
playing
they
good.
lost.
Let's
Yeah.
go Cougars.
Chicago, Atlanta.
Pick your poison.
Let's go, Mitchell Trubisky.
Nah.
Chicago 3-0.
I think I'm gonna have to go Atlanta because of the way
Same.
they lost, bro. I think they're gonna come
They
out.
played
They
two
have
better
to win.
teams.
You know
Like
what I
win,
mean? They
yeah.
have to win.
The Rams and Buffalo. Oh, that's a hard game, man.
I take Buffalo.
Let's go Rams.
Yeah.
I'd say the Rams just because Buffalo's defense hasn't really proved anything.
Yeah.
think
I
they
might
can come
go.
out, though.
I might.
That's a good offense to try to prove.
I might go Buffalo on this one because the Rams was at Philly, right?
Yeah.
So and it's gonna be at Buffalo. So the back and forth travel, it's gonna be
It's gonna affect
Yeah.
definitely, but
Rams.
Washington, Cleveland.
Cleveland needs
Washington.
I think Cleveland.
No, Cleveland. Let me not do this again.
I mean, these are
Cleveland.
not lock picks anyway, so
Yeah.
we'll run through them.
Tennessee, Minnesota,
Tennessee.
Come on.
Tennessee,
Let's go Tannehill.
Vegas, and New England.
New England.
I think
Super Cam.
Here's this interesting one: the decimated San Francisco 49ers or the New York Football Giants.
Oh, I
The
take
decimated
San Francisco.
49ers.
I'm taking Giants on
I'm
this
thinking
one.
Giants.
Yeah, they hurt me last week, man. Forget
Cincinnati versus Philadelphia. Oh.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I might have to roll with Joe Burrow,
I
but
mean, Philly has to win, right, guys?
Let's go,
I don't
Joe
know.
If
Burrow.
they lose to
They-
Cincinnati,
That's exactly what you said last week.
but they,
and they won. I said that
They
about
lost.
no. I
They
said that
lost.
about
They
the
lost.
Cowboys.
And they almost lost.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's sad.
yo,
you know?
I like your picks because my team is in NFC East, so if they keep losing, I'm happy for that. You know, you're right, though, Mossy. I agree. Houston versus Pittsburgh.
Houston.
Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, Houston's
Houston?
another team that needs to
Houston.
win, right?
Houston needs to win.
Think so?
needs to win.
All right. Oh, my God. Jets and the Colts.
The high school team of
Colts.
Lodi.
Nice. Carolina Panthers versus Chargers.
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 Yeah, Chargers.
I want to see
Tampa Bay versus Denver.
Tampa.
Yeah,
Tampa.
go Bucks. Detroit versus Cardinals.
Murray.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Cowboys in Seattle.
Seattle.
Green Bay, New Orleans.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
And
They
then
can
finally,
score
the
65.
matchup everyone's predicting is
Mahomes
Chiefs
versus
and
Lamar.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens.
Ravens. Lamar, baby Jackson.
So, real quick, we said we were going to touch on NBA. We literally have like less than 30 seconds. Nuggets, do they win?
Lakers
Game-
in 5.
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
That's it. Lakers coming back different.
I wish we could talk more about it, but we're running out of time.
Did you guys feel like they were going to
So-
lose really quickly even when they were down 20 in the end? I really thought they were going to come back. That's
I did
honest
too.
truth to God. I really thought they were going to come back and win that game. But
I
they would make it
thought so
close. I didn't
too.
think they would come back all the way.
And those boys,
Closed it out?
they closed it out. Something that the other
80
teams
game
that
winner,
they played,
Kobe.
yeah. So Celtics, Heat, and obviously that game is gonna go on by the time this uploads. What's your predictions? We'll see if we're right
Heat.
or wrong. I got Celtics. So leave the comments below. Be like, you guys think you don't know sports. Whoever is wrong, I think I'll be right. Celtics. Just kidding. Anyways,
No luck
you
of
better
Irish
hope I don't
there.
know where you live if you're going to leave a bad comment.
anyways, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Follow us also on Instagram. Until the next one, I'm Ali, Masi, Mubasha, and Mike. Peace.
Peace.